Forget everything you think you know about bedtime stories. Deep within Mexico's shadowed past lie legends so chilling, they've been intentionally buried for generations. What if the whispers you hear in the dead of night aren't just the wind, but echoes of a forgotten terror ready to awaken? Do you know that kind of silence? The kind that is not empty? It is full. It is heavy. It presses against your ears and makes the small hairs on your arms stand up. This is the silence of old places in Mexico, places where the jungle has taken back the stone. The moon casts long skeletal shadows through the doorways of forgotten temples. It is a silence that watches you. It waits for you to make a mistake, to trip on a root, to whisper a name you should not. This is not the quiet of peace. It is the quiet of something holding its breath just before it decides to speak or to pounce. In these places, the air itself feels ancient. It carries the scent of damp earth, decaying leaves, something else, metallic and sweet, like old blood, forgotten incense. You walk through these ruins and feel you are not alone, a trespasser in a kingdom of ghosts. The wind moves through broken walls. It does not sound like wind. It sounds like a sigh. It sounds like a warning. Every rustle of a leaf is a footstep. Every shadow that moves is a figure turning its head to look at you. The bright, loud world of today feels a million miles away. This is where the real stories live, not in city books, not the sanitized tourist tales. They are carved into the very atmosphere of these places. They sleep in the dark water of the cenotes. They cling to the moss-covered faces of stone gods. These legends are patient. They have waited centuries. They wait for someone quiet enough to hear them, someone brave or perhaps foolish to listen. It is dangerous to listen too closely. The darkness here is different. Not just absence of light, a presence. It has weight and texture. It pools in corners that haven't seen the sun in 1,000 years. A living ink spilling from the mouths of carved jaguars and feathered serpents. Stand in that darkness and you understand. The monsters of our world were not born from imagination. They were born from observation. They are the shapes we see when our eyes can no longer trust the light. They are the truth that waits for us when the sun goes down. What if the stories your ancestors whispered weren't just stories, but warnings? Why these legends matter now? They reflect cultural anxieties, history, and even environmental concerns still relevant in 2025. Everyone knows her name, La Llorona, the weeping woman. Her cry echoes along the riverbanks, a story told to keep children from wandering off in the dark. It is a powerful story, a tragic story, polished by time, made smooth and familiar. The story they tell you. A story that stands in front of the others like a well-dressed guard at a forbidden door. A beautiful, terrible gatekeeper. But what about the stories behind that door? The ones not so easily spoken. The ones deliberately forgotten. Deeper legends, older ones. Grandmothers whispering when candles are low. Storms rattling the windows. Tales that do not offer simple explanations or tidy morals. They are raw. They are strange. They are unsettling. Not just fears of losing a child in the night. They speak of losing the world itself. They speak of cosmic terrors. They speak of the earth turning against us, meant to be remembered in the bones, not the mind. Imagine walking through the ruins of Teotihuacan at twilight. The great avenue of the dead is empty. The pyramid of the sun is a black mountain against a bleeding sky. The silence is profound, but as you stand there, you feel it. A vibration in the stone, a low hum that seems to come from the earth itself. The ancient people who built this city knew things. They knew about the cycles of creation and destruction. They knew that the universe was a place of terrifying balance. And they left warnings, not in books, in their art, in their architecture, in the very alignment of their cities. The whispers are in the details, the fanged faces that peer out from the temple of the feathered serpent, the murals that depict not just gods and kings, strange, skeletal figures descending from the stars. These were not just decorations, they were reminders. They were a way of saying, do not forget what watches us from above. Do not forget the price of the sun's light. The silence of these ruins is a respectful silence, born from the knowledge that you are standing on a stage built for cosmic dramas of immense and violent scale. The actors are gone, but their presence remains. This is the mood that births the forgotten legends. Let us speak a name that is not spoken lightly. The Tsitsimime. These are not ghosts. They are not local spirits. They are cosmic horrors. To the Aztec people, they were skeletal goddesses. Demons who lived in the darkness of space, waiting. They were the embodiment of the terror of a solar eclipse. When the sun was devoured by the moon, the barrier between our world and their dark realm was weakened. They would use that moment of twilight to descend upon the earth. Their purpose was simple and absolute: to devour humanity and to end the world. Imagine the sheer terror of that belief. Every 52 years, the Aztecs performed the new fire ceremony to ensure the sun would continue to rise and the world would not end. The days leading up to it were filled with dread. All fires were extinguished. Pregnant women were hidden away. It was believed they would transform into tsitsimime if the world ended. People would climb to their rooftops and wait, watching the stars, praying that the sun would be reborn. This was not a story. This was a real recurring cultural anxiety, a deep fear of cosmic abandonment. The tsitsimime were depicted as terrifying figures, skeletal women wearing skirts of writhing serpents, claws for hands and feet, necklaces made of human hearts and hands. They were the anti-mothers, the devourers of life, the darkness that hungers for the light. They represent a fear much bigger than a monster under the bed. It is the fear of total, meaningless annihilation. The fear that the universe is not just indifferent, but actively malevolent. Our existence is a fragile flicker of light. The darkness is always waiting to snuff it out. This legend was a warning against complacency, a reminder that the order of the world is not guaranteed. The sun, the crops, the rain, life itself, these are gifts that can be taken away. The tsitsimime embodied that precariousness. They gave a face to the formless dread of extinction. By creating these star demons, the people could at least name their fear. They could perform rituals to fight it. But the fear itself, the fear of the lights going out for good, never truly went away. It just waited in the darkness between the stars. Now, let us travel south to the Yucatan Peninsula. Here, the fear is not from the sky, but from the earth itself. The ground is limestone, a porous sponge, riddled with caves and underground rivers called cenotes. In this landscape lives a different kind of being, a different kind of legend. The Aluxes, pronounced Alu-Shez. They are not grand cosmic demons. They are small, mischievous, and intensely territorial. Tiny childlike figures, often dressed in traditional Mayan clothing, guardians of the land, guardians of the jungle, guardians of the cenotes. They are the spirit of the place. Do not be fooled by their small stature. An Alux can be a powerful ally or a formidable enemy. If you enter their territory, a milpa, a cornfield, a patch of jungle, an ancient ruin, you must ask for their permission. You leave them an offering, a little food, some shiny object, a bit of honey. If you show them respect, they will protect your land. They will make your crops grow strong. They will ward off thieves, animals, and human. Farmers in the Yucatan still build small houses, little altars called Catal Alux, in their fields, to give these beings a home and keep them happy. But if you disrespect them, if you mock them, if you trespass without asking, if you damage their land, then you will know their anger. They will play tricks on you. They will hide your tools. They will lead you astray in the jungle until you are hopelessly lost. They will throw rocks at you from unseen places. They can cause fevers, nightmares, a sickness that no modern doctor can cure. The Aluxes are a direct manifestation of the land's personality. They are the Earth's immune system, treating disrespect like an infection. This legend is a powerful warning about our relationship with the environment. It is a story that teaches humility. This land is not yours. You are a guest here. You must walk softly. You must take only what you need. You must give back. The Aluxes are the personification of this pact between humanity and nature. They are not evil. They are enforcers of a contract. They represent a worldview where the land is not a resource to be exploited, but a living entity with a soul, a memory, and the power to defend itself. Deep in the jungle, the ground opens up into a perfect circle of impossible blue water. A cenote. These were sacred places for the Maya. They were gateways to the underworld. Xibalba. They were sources of life-giving water in a dry land, but they were also places of immense danger and mystery. From the dark waters of these sacred wells comes the legend of the Huaycan, the serpent man. This is not Kukulkan, the great feathered serpent of wisdom and light. This is something else, something older, more predatory. The story tells of a powerful sorcerer, a man who knows the dark magic of the jungle. Through ancient rituals, he sheds his human skin and becomes a giant snake with the head and torso of a man. He slides into the cool dark waters of the cenote and waits, a predator using the sacred as his hunting ground. He preys on those who come to the cenote alone, dragging them down into depths from which they never return. He is the corruption of the sacred, the monster that wears the mask of a holy place. This legend speaks to a deep-seated fear of betrayal, the fear that the things you trust the most, the source of your water, the heart of your community, even your spiritual leaders, can hide a monstrous secret. The Uekan is a shapeshifter, neither fully human nor fully animal. Evil does not always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a man. Sometimes it lives where you least expect it, in the places you believe are the safest. He is the ultimate insider threat, the rot that begins from within. The Serpent Man is a warning to be vigilant. Do not be blinded by faith or tradition. Look closely at what lies beneath the surface. The beautiful, calm water of the cenote can hide a creature of immense power and malevolence. A charismatic leader can be a sorcerer who devours his own people. The legend cautions against blind trust. Darkness can find its way into even the most sacred spaces. The greatest dangers often come from the inside, the corruption of something once pure and life-giving. These stories feel ancient. They feel like relics from a forgotten time. But they are not. They are alive. Their fears are our fears. The legends are not just about star demons, jungle spirits. They are about the anxieties that still haunt us in the 21st century. They have simply changed their masks. The stories are mirrors. In their dark, distorted surfaces, we can see our modern world. The monsters are still here. We just call them by different names now. Think of the Tsitsimime, the star demons waiting for the sun to fail. Is that not the language of our anxieties about global collapse? We no longer fear a solar eclipse will end the world. But we do fear nuclear war. We fear catastrophic climate change. We fear a global pandemic. We live with the constant low-level hum that our interconnected world is fragile. Why do we need these monsters? In a world of science and reason, what is the purpose of a star demon or a serpent man? It is because monsters are the guardians of our humility. They are the librarians of our deepest fears. They exist to remind us that we are not the masters of the universe. They are the embodiment of the things we cannot control, the forces that are bigger, older, and more powerful than we are. A world without monsters is an arrogant world. It is a world that believes it has an answer for everything, and that is the most dangerous belief of all. These legends, these creatures, they give shape to the unknown. The human mind abhors a vacuum. When we face a fear that is too large or too abstract, the fear of death, of chaos, of nature's wrath, we create a face for it. We give it a name. We tell stories about it. The Tsitsimime, the Alaxis, the Uekan. By making the monster, we make the fear manageable. We can create rituals to appease it, rules to avoid it, heroes to fight it. The monster is a tool. It is a way for us to navigate the terrifying, beautiful, and overwhelming mystery of existence. Furthermore, our monsters define our humanity. A monster is, by definition, that which is not human. By describing what the monster is, a devourer, a trickster, a betrayer, we're also describing what we should strive not to be. The monster is a negative image of our own virtues. We must not be like the Tsitsimime, who seek only to destroy. We must be creators. We must not be like the disrespectful trespasser who angers the Alaxis. We must be humble stewards. We must not be the two-faced Uekan. We must be trustworthy. The monsters show us the path to our better selves by showing us the path we must not take. So we need them. We need their claws and their fangs and their shadowy forms. They are the keepers of our cultural memory. They are the vessels for our anxieties. They are the dark mirrors that prevent us from becoming too vain, too certain, too comfortable. To forget them, to dismiss them as simple superstitions, is to lose a vital part of our collective consciousness. It is to voluntarily become blind to the warnings that our ancestors worked so hard to preserve. We do not outgrow our monsters. We just learn to listen to them more carefully. To remember these legends is not an act of looking backward. It is an act of looking forward. These stories are not dead artifacts. They are living messages sent to us from the past to help us navigate the future. They are the ghosts of tomorrow. They are warnings wrapped in the beautiful, grotesque language of myth, more relevant today than they have ever been. They are a chorus of voices from across the centuries, all telling us the same things. Be humble, be vigilant, respect the world around you. Do not forget the darkness.